I'll just give you the floor on watching that final round. Where does that rank for you, that final round of the Masters, Alan?
I mean, it's definitely one of the most entertaining Sundays ever at Augusta. It wasn't artful, I would say. Rory played three of the best, three of the worst shots in Masters history, and a couple of the best too. Like he, the pursuers never quite rose to the moment. As soon as Justin Rose had a chance to win, he promptly bogeyed the 17th hole. Ludwig, Aubert had a putt take the lead on 16. He missed that and he blew up coming home. It just felt like the golf gods were doing everything they could to get Rory across the line. When he hit into the trees, he always had a shot. He got a little Freddie Couples, Velcro job on the bank at number 11 when he played a very risky recovery shot. It was just there for the taking, and Rory did everything he could to win it and to not win it simultaneously. So it was riveting theater. In the end, the mistakes, the missed putts, none of it really matters. He got it done. He joined the Pantheon, and that catharsis on the 18th green is going to live forever. I mean, that was just the pure emotion of sport, and it was an insight into this burden that Rory has carried for so long. And he always downplayed as he had to in his public comments, but that's where we could really see the weight of it when it was finally released. And so, yeah, it was an all-time memorable Masters Sunday, and a great champion and really an unforgettable piece of theater.
So I guess a very simple question, because we just saw how a sport that guys and women can make look so easy be so difficult. So what is it about Rory McIlroy, I guess is the question, where we just watched his entire career's arc in 19 holes of golf on Sunday, Alan?
Well, he's such an appealing champion because he's so open and he lets you in, like Tiger Woods's, inner self is a well-guarded fortress. We'll never really know who Tiger is or what makes him tick. You could say the same about Ben Hogan, Nick Faldo, a lot of great champions through the years in golf. Angel Cabrera, who, Rory mentioned, even Tom Watson. These guys are a certain personality type. They don't let you in. They have that 1,000-yard stare, and so you appreciate their mastery of the game, but you don't feel a tremendous emotional connection to them. I mean, Rory's the opposite. He always tells you what he's thinking, for better and for worse. He has no filter. He's said a million things he regrets in his life, but all we want from our athletes is for them to be open and honest, and he's the quintessence of that. And so, and he wears his heart on his sleeve. We've seen the tears many times, at Whistling Straits and other times. We know how much he cares. This journey he's been on forever to. He was this prodigy. He won so much so early. It looked like he might, summit Mount Nicholas and make a run in 18 majors. He was on that trajectory for a while, and then this decade-long drought where he won everything that mattered in golf except for what really mattered. He won the race to Dubai and the FedEx Cup and the Players Championship, and he was a prolific winner around the world except where it really mattered and the tournaments he wanted the most. And so it became this incredible, struggle and almost this Greek tragedy of this guy who has so much talent but couldn't get across the line. And it's just, golf fans have been so invested in his story for so long. And that's why, if you were monitoring golf Twitter yesterday, it was one of the all-time great days in the history of the medium, because people were just losing their minds, and it was this sort of collective freak out. And then, Rory would do something amazing and the internet would melt, and then he would do something terrible and woe is me. And it was great fun. It was communal, it was a collective experience. And because, Rory's become a little more polarizing in the last couple of years because of his advocacy in this battle for the soul of golf with the PGA Tour and Live. But I don't think anyone really doesn't like Rory out there. Even the Live bots probably have a grudging admiration and even some affection for him. And so the whole golf world was tuned into this, and as the day wore on, it transcended golf. It became a sports story, it became a human story. Just the struggle, the challenge, the pressure. It was really incredible stuff.
Yeah, I mean, his shot on 15 in a three-way tie, the shot through probably what looked like a 5-foot square foot window on 7 between these trees to flip it over the hole, for him to, that shot on 17, the shot on 18 for a second time. Unbelievable, compared to, as you said, the Velcro moment on 11 where the ball could have gone in the water, the 13 meltdown where it did go in the water. I mean, it really was epic. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.